World, see how things are going. Kathy Helbig is our guru. Good morning, Kathy Helbig.
Good morning.
Housing and real estate still rocking and rolling?
It
right?
really is. Interest rates keep staying low. They keep teasing us that they're going to go up and then they'll have a drop again. And just, we kind of are having that second wave of the summer rush. I've been on appointments left and right of people trying to get their house up on the market and sold still this summer.
I also heard a lot of first-time home buyers are getting into the market, which
Yes.
then helps everything all the way up.
Exactly. It's definitely the trickle effect.
Yeah. All right,
So
good.
gotta-
All right, you're here to talk about things we don't know.
Correct.
What don't we know?
A lot of times that comes into play with first-time buyers because you've never done this before.
Right.
So, and a lot of times, too, people are listening to people at work that are just educated enough to be dangerous.
Yes.
So I find myself spending half of the appointments correcting what other people have told people a lot of times. So
You sound like Pat Blassie from Altair Travel.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So there was a few issues that came up this week that made me think, we need to talk about this because people just don't know what they don't know.
Straight from the expert, Kathy Helbig. What do you got?
Well, one thing is you don't really know all the cost involved when you are a first-time buyer, so you need to be prepared for that. First of all, know your mortgage cost. Know what your full payment is going to be with your hazard insurance and your taxes factored in. Sometimes people just aren't really tuned into that. They don't know what they need to come to the closing table with, and they're unprepared after they're already committed to a contract on a house.
So people don't have the money to get to the
Correct.
closing.
Know your numbers. If you're going to be tight, we need to know that so that we can craft your contract in a way that you're bringing less money to the table, less cash out of pocket, like closing costs and things like that. Like, for instance, the first year of homeowners insurance needs to be paid up front.
Right.
So you have to know that. As a seller, sometimes I meet with sellers and they're really tight on what they owe on the property, and they need to realize that on closing day, they actually need to come to the table with their taxes prorated for the year, their property taxes. So if they close in August or September, they've got to come with January 1st to September 1st
Right, yeah.
taxes. They are crediting that to the buyer, and then the buyer gets the full tax bill at the end of the year. So again, you're getting that as a credit as a buyer. You need to be prepared to pay those taxes at the end of the year. Now, the lenders usually have those escrowed in,
Right.
but part of that is your closing costs that you're coming to the table with.
Right.
Another thing is being prepared for repairs. If you're spending every single penny on your house and you're not setting aside money for your furniture that you need to buy, we were just talking about that before we came on air, you got to fill the house. You don't have to do it overnight, but you need to make sure that you have a little bit of money set aside. So if you move in and 3 weeks later, the furnace goes out or the hot water heater goes out, that you're not caught so off guard because you have $0 left. There are home protection plans you can get. People don't know about that as well. So you want to negotiate that into your contract. So for 12 months after closing, if you negotiate in a home protection plan that's provided by the seller, then a lot of those major items are covered and you're not caught off guard.
Are those protection plans really a good idea? Because it seems like the few times I called, they were like, nope, that's not covered. Nope, that's going to cost you $500 to get that done.
They are, and it depends on who you ask. It is an insurance policy. So obviously there are restrictions. There are, fine print of what is pre-existing conditions or not. But we have constant people using those and getting their claims filled. So I would say we have way better luck with getting your repairs made for a much less price than we do for people that have the pre-existing conditions that get turned out.
I swear, because after that 366 days, something always goes wrong with the house.
Right, exactly. Another thing to think about for closing, for buying, is your inspection costs. So you are purchasing a house. You want to get your termite, your building inspection. You might want to do radon. There's pool inspections, spa inspections. There's a whole myriad of things that add up. So we want to talk about that on our appointments to find out what are the required inspections going on right then and there. Another thing that you want to be sure that you want to check into is possibly your neighbors. People don't realize that you can go into a house a couple of different times. You don't have to buy it the second that you walk in. And you also can ask the neighbors what's going on in the neighborhood.
The neighbors are the first ones to tell you everything.
Exactly.
They
and a lot
are.
of people don't think about that. But
Right.
you got to think about that when you're selling your house, too.
Oh.
What do your neighbors know?
To
So
pay
I
off
should-
your
Better be
neighbors.
nice.
To let it,
I
That's
should
right.
I should start being nice to my neighbors.
Yeah.
Kathy Helbig Group at the Kathy Helbig Group for all of your buying and selling needs. Your app is so outstanding. I was on it last night. for no other reason than I just wanted to see what the houses around me were selling for.
There you go.
So
We
it's
got it.
it's a great app, and it's up to the second. Way better than all those national brands. KathyHelbigGroup.com. Search your phone for the Kathy Helbig Group app. And for all of your real estate needs, Kathy Helbig. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
740, traffic, weather, sports, and Jason Nathanson was at the ESPYs. He's got the reaction from Caitlyn Jenner's speech. We'll talk to him coming up in this half hour. Big 550, KT.